Aloha everybody, welcome back to my channel, Kaiwaza with you, and our journey through my Hawaiian Exotica record collection. We're on the letter P, and we're going to have one more Exotica record from the letter P, and then we're going to move into South Pacific, and I think that will wrap it up today. So, let's get started. Exotica record, okay, well whatever, is this Exotica? Is another one? I don't know. There's a lot of these sort of tropical Latin albums out there, and yeah, they're kind of exotic. I don't really collect them. I like them, I just don't really collect them. But this one I have because it's just too bizarre. Tambo by Tito Puente. Number one, you just gotta love this cover. I mean, there's Mr. Puente doing his drumming thing, and then here's this guy with his mask on, dancing in the background. It's craziness. And this album is really intense. Like, it's super loud and super percussive, and I just kind of really dig it. I don't know. It's like a crazy ritual. It says here, savage drums, and that's the truth. RCA Victor, and it is from 1960. Yeah, pretty cool record, this one. I mean, not something you want to listen to all the time, but yeah. Now we move into South Pacific records from the letter P. Now, a lot of these I won't talk too much about because they are South Pacific artists that I'm just not really familiar with or know that much about, but I'll present them to you. First one is Wild Wild Tahiti by the Papeete Players. And I gotta upgrade this one. This is a really old copy, and it does have some scratches on it. And it's actually a pretty cute record, so I wouldn't mind getting a better version of it. Viking Records out of New Zealand. Lots and lots of Polynesian type records. Well, here's a group. This actually is in Hawaii, but it's a Polynesian theme. This is the Paradise Polynesian Show, which was performed, according to the liner notes here, in various hotels and also at Sea Life Park for quite a while. The sound of the singers on this group is very similar to the Paradise Serenaders, a rather well-known group here during the 60s and whatever. Because the I guess director here is Rodney or Billy Gonzalez, and Billy Gonzalez and the Paradise Serenaders were a well-known group, so it has kind of a similar sound, but the rest of it is various Polynesian, as your typical sort of Polynesian floor show here in the islands that would have some Tahitian numbers and New Zealand and Fiji, whatever, different Polynesian things. I think there's a date on this, but I would guess the 70s for sure. Paradise Polynesian Show. Here's an album that's out of Tahiti. I don't know, kind of interesting. This lady, Leone Paul, actually a Caucasian lady from Australia who sings in many languages, yada yada. Changed careers to music, and said while she was in Queensland, Australia, this is funny, she had met an artist from the famous Tahitian folklore group Maeva Tahiti, and was able to perfect the Tahitian and Maori languages. Really? Okay, anyway, so she recorded this album of Polynesian songs, and you know, good singer. I can't really attest to her veracity in the Tahitian and Maori languages because I do not speak them, but you know, it's an enjoyable album, and I love the cover because she's like kind of almost got jazz hands going on. I can just imagine the people around her, the Tahitian people around her, going like, "What is she doing?" I don't know. Songs of the Islands, Leone Paul. Then here's, I don't know anything about these people, but I just have one album from them, Pepe and the Rarotongans, Meet Me in Rarotonga. I do love this cover. I love really bright, colorful ones like the Crown Records and things when they're crazy colorful. But I also love when they go sort of brown, like this. It's very exotic too, this sort of brown, rich brown colors. I can say I've been to Rarotonga now. It's kind of cool. It's only for a day, but I was there. Here's an album I got in Tahiti recently when I went on that cruise throughout French Polynesia and South Pacific. Tahiti with the orchestra of I don't know, Petiot, I don't know how you say that, but this is just called Latest Hits of Tahiti. So these are interpretations of, I guess, popular songs there by some different singers, but the orchestra is Orchestra Pet whatever. I like a lot of the Tahitian records in the 70s have that glossy cover. I like it. Here's from the Polynesian Cultural Center, which is here on the island of Oahu, but Polynesian Panorama, 12 authentic songs and chants of the southern Polynesian islands, performed by native islanders representing the Polynesian Institute. This is back before it was called the Polynesian Cultural Center. It was called the Polynesian Institute. And this is volume 1. I only have the one volume of this, but there is a song on here that I absolutely love. It is one of my favorite songs in the collection. It's from Rarotonga. It's called Awe Te Tiare. I just think it's a beautiful song, and I wish other artists would, you know, re-record it. Awe te tiare, te tiare mali, te tiare Rarotonga, tia prima. Tano tita koe, tita kuri makatau, toto kuri harma ato, tia prima. And check out the label, the Polynesian record label. I love it. So, yeah, I always recommend the Polynesian culture. It's always the number one thing I recommend to people if they ever ask, and they often do, like, what should they do? It's the one thing I absolutely recommend people do if they come to Hawaii, is spend an entire day and evening, the whole day and the evening at the Polynesian Cultural Center. Go around the villages during the day. They have arts and crafts and little smaller shows and things that represent all the different islands of Polynesia. And there's a river, a river that runs through the thing, and they have the pageant of the long canoes several times a day, which is very entertaining to watch. I would skip the luau. I would go to the buffet there. The reason I say that is because it's run by the Church of Latter-day Saints, so there's no caffeine and no alcohol on the property. So I'm a caffeine addict, hello, I gotta have it. So I have, you know, I would just take in like canned coffee and canned Diet Coke and have that throughout the day, and then see the show at night, because the show is really spectacular. But you really should do it all, because I mean, if you just see the show, it's a great show, but you haven't seen the villages, and the villages are great, and you should really do both. That's just my thing. But I would skip the luau and just have the buffet, because there's no liquor, and I would go to some other luau and have drinks and whatever. But definitely worth an entire day, an entire night. Anyway, that's my pitch. I'm not a Latter-day Saint. I'm not getting a kickback from them. It's like the #1 thing I tell people to do. You will not regret it. Love it. And they also sometimes did albums to go along with their show, because they changed the show every year, and it's a very big show. This is one of them for 1979, Invitation to Paradise, the Polynesian Cultural Center. So this is just going to be music and dances representing the various Polynesian islands. And they weave together a little story of some kind.
Stars over keep watch o'er my island.
This one has 2 songs particularly. They're English language songs, but Stars Over Laie and Hands Across the Water, that I also wish somebody, contemporary artists doing Hawaiian music, would redo those songs. I think they're both beautiful songs. Here's another one. This one is from 1983, I think. Yeah, 1983. This is Polynesia.
We sing of Polynesia. We sing of people proud. We sing of children born of the sea in places.
And the last one I have from them, does it have a year? I don't think this one has the year on it, but this is highlights from their show, whatever year it was, called Festival Polynesia. Okay, then we've got Ports of Paradise. And it's the compilation of different artists, songs from the South Pacific. Another nice glossy cover. This is from Salem Records out of New Zealand. And finally, Tahitian group I don't know anything about, Tamura, Tahitian Songs for the Dance by the Punaauia Serenaders. Tiare Tahiti Records, kind of a nice label. Okay, and that does conclude the letter P. So in the next video, we will move on to the letter J. If you enjoy Hawaiian music, especially easy listening Hawaiian music, I invite you to tune into my station, Hawaiian Hi-Fi, H-I-F-I. That's on live365.com. 24 hours, 7 days a week, free to listen to. In the USA, UK, and Canada, selections from my 2,500 Hawaiian records, all veering toward the easy listening. So check that out if you're interested. And if you have any of these records, or have you been to the Polynesian Cultural Center, I love it. Love it, love it. Let me know below. And we will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.